So I'm having a hard time seeing where we have to add on some of these Old Testament rules when it...
Okay, hang on. There we are. That's it. That we have to add on some of these Old Testament rules. Here's the thing, is that when we look at the covenant, right? When we look at the covenant, these are part of the covenant. So, Brittany, what I would say to you here is we're not adding anything on. What the Christian church is doing is they are taking things off. The covenant as a whole includes things like the festivals, like the Sabbath, like the kosher laws. These are part of the covenantal rights that we have. And I say rights because it's not, I don't want to look at them as these burdens and obligations that I have to do. That's not what it is. God has loved his people so much that he has given them a law. The surrounding nations will look at Israel and say, how great is this people that God has given them this law that is with such great, I'm paraphrasing, with such great rules and, such great mishpatim, right? But what I see the Christian church doing today is saying, no, that's not right. They aren't great laws. In fact, we're going to cut some of them off to try to make the Torah great. This is not what David says. David says, the law of the Lord is perfect. Oh, how I love your law. He doesn't say, oh, how I love your law, but I got to take a bunch away to make it great. The thing about the law of God is that it's perfect. We don't have to manipulate it and take things away from it to make it any better. Rob?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I thank you, Brittany, for the great voicemail. And
we got 45 seconds left. Do you want to finish it out, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's hear. Let's
okay,
hear.
Let's listen. I don't want to cut Brittany off here because actually, Brittany and her family are struggling with something that I think a lot of our listeners are struggling with. And so I don't want to diminish this, and I don't want to put anybody down. I think these are a lot of the things that come to mind when people are wrestling with these things. And just one more thing before we start this back up. I know I've talked a lot, but that's what I do. I have a friend who has been in the Torah movement for a good 25 years. And he's still struggling with some of these things. So it's not necessarily that people are just, that don't get me wrong. There are people who come to Torah and they see it, they see the covenants, and they're just 100% like, yes, I see this, I get it. God wants me to do this. I'm all in, not a problem. And then you have other people who they're still wrestling. And so I don't want to bring anybody down here and diminish anybody. But this is, when we look at the covenants of God, we should not see his commands as anything. 1 John, isn't it 1 John where he says that the commands are not burdensome. The law is not burdensome. So the law of God is not burdensome. Eating a kosher diet is not burdensome. It is a joy and an honor to be considered one of God's people and to show that through the covenant obligations, the blessings that he's given us in the Torah.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.